Yes?
Let's do it.
All right.
Yeah.
Welcome to another edition of the We the Fans Network, episode 23 maybe. I don't know. I lost count. Definitely not doing that anymore. Welcome to another episode. We finally do a normal podcast. We've been doing the March Madness. We did the Steeler Rick interview last week. We didn't do a regular show last week. But a lot has gone on. We're in the Sweet 16. There's been some retirements just now, a few minutes ago. I don't know if you guys saw. Major NFL rule change that we'll talk about in a minute also. But let's start with... I don't even want to call him retired because I'm not even buying it. Conor McGregor retired. But I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it, so...
It's bogus. He was on a late night show. I don't know if it was Jimmy Fallon or whoever, a few nights ago, Saturday night, and he said how he's waiting for another fight. So he's going to retire, hype's going to build, and then he's going to come out and probably fight Khabib again.
Yeah, he's done this before already.
It's about the moolah.
Yeah. Boom.
I think that he will retire from MMA, but I think he will do other things, fights, to make money. I think he realized how much he made out of boxing. He really wants to probably fight somebody who'll probably kick his ass again in boxing. But he wants the money. That's all he really cares about. Now that he's not undefeated in MMA, he doesn't have any championship belts, he doesn't have anything. He don't care. He's all for the money. His whiskey business is doing great, and he is what he is. He's a great promoter and salesman, and right now he's saying he's retiring. But I agree. I think he'll be back, but I don't think it'll be the UFC.
Can you see what I was pointing to or no?
Is that Mike Tyson or
No,
somebody else?
it's Raging Bull.
I can see Haskell. I've never even watched that movie.
Yeah, I've seen it a long time ago, and then I've seen like parts of it since then, and I really have barely any memory of it.
Yeah, I tried watching the very beginning of it. I did not find it interesting at all.
Yeah, no, it's slow. It's definitely a slow movie. It was made for its time. It was made for its time. But moving on to another retirement, and we'll move to football. Rob Gronkowski. Some are asking if he's the greatest tight end of all time. I don't think so. But he's retired, and I would just like to say, he had a long career, a lot of back surgeries, and in my opinion, the greatest play in Rob Gronkowski's career is when, for some reason, he was in on 4th and 17 against the Miami Dolphins, and he missed the tackle in the Miami Miracle, and Kenyon Drake went on to score a touchdown to win the game.
Forced him into retirement, to be honest.
I agree, Mike. I agree with you. I didn't hear what Boomer said, but it's insignificant to your comment. Forced him into retirement, I agree. Boom, what was that?
I said a completely meaningless play in a game that mattered nothing for a team that was going nowhere.
It mattered here.
It hurt the Dolphins, but it helped our souls.
But, I think he comes back. He's 29 years old. I think maybe not this year. I think a year out of no competition while he tries to figure out what he wants to do in life. Because, if you're going to retire from football, I don't know why you go to the WWE. It's going to be just as bad on your body. So I don't know if he's going to do some gigs.
It might be worse, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. Be on shows. I'm not sure what he's going to do yet, but I think he comes back to football at some point in time. I don't take it serious. You can see it better now. Good job. And I don't take it serious at all. So I think he's the third greatest tight end of all time. I think 1 is Tony Gonzalez, 2 is Sterling Sharp, 3 is Rob Gronkowski.
Sterling Sharp, huh?
Oh yeah.
But he's a Hall of Famer. He's going to be the king of reality shows. He's going to be on the dating ones and the island and the road rules.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
I think he's
got that
personality.
personality. That no, but now he can actually do it. Now you can. He can actually party and not get in trouble.
He has tons of money saved up. I don't think that's what he's going to turn into. I think he's going to honestly try to be on like a pregame show like Fox or something like that. I think that's what he's going to try and do.
No, he says he wants to act.
All right, well then act. All right, whatever.
I don't think he
He'll
can.
be in The Hangover Part 4.
Right?
That's the kind of movie he's going to do.
Yeah, something like that. He'll be in those, maybe he'll be in, a John Cena movie. Like John Cena, comedy where they have just, thrown celebrities in there. Yeah, they just have people in there because it's just like an Amy Schumer type stupid movie. Well, she's not funny at all, but That's
don't even get on that level. Jesus, she's awful.
She'd be
terrible.
funny if she liked the program.
Huh?
I said she'd probably be funny to you if she liked the program.
All right, this show?
Yeah, this program, yeah.
Nah, she still wouldn't be funny.
Funny.
Yeah, she still wouldn't be funny. She's pretty bad. She's pretty terrible. But let's stay on the NFL. Rule change. Breaking news. Breaking news. Yeah, there you go. There you go. See? Boomer knew what I was going for. So, Boomer, you saw it. Mike, did you see it? All right. Then, Mike, I want your immediate reaction on it. They are allowing, in the 2019 NFL season, coaches to challenge pass interference calls and non-calls. Thoughts?
From beginning to end, or like last 2 minutes?
Whole game, I believe. It's going to be part of your 3 challenges.
It's no good. It's no good. It's got to come from a official up above to make a call like that. It's going to be out to spite. It's going to change the pace of the game. It's going to be fun how they use it, I guess, but it should be in the coach's hands. And not for a non-call. No.
Boomer?
I think it's the worst thing I've ever heard of in my entire life. I don't know what the NFL committee is even thinking here. They're trying to ruin the best sport that there is by extending it and make it longer and make people wait on something that is not a big deal. Unless they're going to put a limit, like coaches get 1 challenge in the game to do it, I'm okay if they do that. But to be able to challenge every single pass interference call or non-pass interference call,
But
I mean,
is
you
that
can
the
do
case?
No timeouts and stuff like that. Like,
But-
I don't get it.
But is that the case, or is it one of the 3 challenges?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. They don't haven't given all the details.
Right.
But even 3 of them is too much.
So maybe it's 1, and then, it's the 2 regular challenges, and then you get 1 non-call challenge.
I don't know. Either way,
I'm
I
sick
don't
of
like it.
people who don't play the sport making up rules to hurt the sport. It's a bunch of dumb white guys that have never played a day in their life making rules that are stupid and fighting because of that stupid call in the Rams-Saints game. Those refs just got it right. Should be done with. All that should happen is those refs shouldn't be able to ever ref a playoff game again. Be done with it. We don't need stupid rules like this.
No,
Unless
if
it's
you want to
one-
know what
one
should
call.
happen to them, what you do is, when you're done listening to this episode, you go back. Might have been like episode 17. It says NFL refs or Saints, Rams. It says something in there. And you listen to what I had to say. Because that's what should be done. That's what should be. Or go on the Instagram, at We The Fans Network. There's clips on there too.
They're
These guys should be
humans, too.
punished. No, Mike,
They're
they should be
humans,
punished.
too.
They need to be held accountable. They're not held accountable, Mike.
Damn them to
Yes, they
hell.
are.
No, they're not.
They don't need to be fired because they missed
No,
a
no,
call.
no, 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 no,
There's
no, 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 no,
no,
no.
no.
Nobody
their
said
plays.
fired.
Or go to school or get retraining, get
Yes.
sent down to modify.
Yes. They need to
Should.
be
There needs to be
re-educated.
accountability.
There's not enough of them. That's the problem.
It's just a re-education. That's all it is. It's a touch-up course, and you're prohibited
I think if you even
for at
find
least a
them,
year.
They start making better calls.
You're
I think
right.
if you even start fighting them, they make better calls. For
Mike,
real.
if you did bad at your job, what would happen?
I'm sure you get penalized, but
So that's it.
penalized.
to what
But that's
extent?
it. That's all you need to say.
What is the extent? You guys are like, oh, you got to go back to school. Everything happens in a split second. Like, you can't expect these guys to
We
get
want the sport to be better. What's wrong
Yeah,
with
but-
retraining every now and then?
There's a
Put a
reason.
robot back there.
But there's a reason
That's
that
not possible.
Mike, but there's a reason that they wear the stripes and we don't, because they're supposed to be able to be better and be damn near perfect. That's their job. That's what they're supposed to do. It's not easy. Nobody's saying it's easy, and nobody's expecting them to be perfect. But if you take that play specifically, come on.
You realize that there's like hundreds of thousands of plays over the years, and like people talk about like a handful of calls that were like
Okay,
bad
fine,
missed.
but that
Out of
was
so many. Like the percentage is just, it's just horrible that it was in that.
No, there's a lot
type
that
of
happens in the
situation
regular
for a game.
season. It just doesn't get the attention because it's not the solo game on TV.
There's a bunch of calls missed though throughout the game that these
Yeah,
guys
I'm just
don't
saying,
see.
just
You're not going to say
bad
anything
calls.
that benefits your team.
Yes, they do.
No.
all right. Let's go move past the NFC Championship game from January. All right, and let's we're all in agreement. We don't like the pass interference challenge, whatever the hell it's going to be. Now let's go into another chapter in the saga of Antonio Brown. Juju Smith-Schuster made a tweet about how he is very appreciative. Is that coming from you, Mike?
Yeah, I'm downstairs. I didn't put my door back on in the man cave. I'm still painting them. So.
It's all good. It's all good. I just wasn't sure where that was coming from. But anyway, so Juju tweeted about how he was appreciative for playing with a Hall of Fame quarterback so young in his career, and he could learn a lot from him, and I am definitely not saying this word for word because I don't even have it in front of me. Here we go. I was so blessed to enter the league and play with a Hall of Fame quarterback as a 20-year-old. Ben has taught me so much. He's a true leader, and I can't wait to rock with my guy this season. Antonio Brown answered by tweeting what's behind this pop-up on my screen. Do not listen to any NFL player who haven't gotten paid yet. They will do and say anything to make sure they're going to get paid, even if it's compromising integrity or anything. Sad but true. And just to let everybody know, the way that I read it was in actual English, not in Antonio Brown language. Yeah, so I mean, he's got to stop. I think
it's very simple what he's doing. I mean, obviously, him and Juju talked whatever smack they talked about the coach and Ben, and he remembers that, and he's also acknowledging that as a player that haven't gotten paid yet, you're going to have to say company man type things, and this is a company man type statement. And basically, it's like,
why does he need to say anything?
I know what you said in the hotel to me, so just know that I know, Juju.
But why does he need to say anything? He's on a new team. He got what he wanted.
Personal. There's guilt on his conscience for how he left Pittsburgh.
Boom.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I think that all this AB stuff is stupid. I said this from the beginning. Even though he's now with the Raiders, hopefully it works out. But yeah, there's no right now he's
really seems
backwards.
To be changing.
Yeah, he's hustling backwards now. He's clapping back at somebody who has got paid. He got paid. I told you the whole thing about all this is that Juju is the not as pretty girl, but the more popular girl, and it's pissed Antonio Brown off. And he got petty, like every hot chick gets petty about the girl who. And that's how it works, and that's what happened. That's still what's happening. He doesn't know how to get over it yet.
He's a scorned ex.
Boomer's high school years in a nutshell.
Well, I'm not a girl, so.
So, Boomer, tell us about Antonio Brown now.
You know come on.
What about Antonio Brown?
I thought that whole segment was about you. No. Okay. Flew over the head.
Forget it. Yep. All right, anyway, moving on to a more important topic. The Miami Dolphins, last season, apparently Adam Gase was looking into trading for Matthew Stafford. I don't know how I feel about it. I have liked Stafford at times. Last year, he wasn't that great. I think he could still be a really good quarterback. I think he needs a change of scenery. I don't think he's Detroit's savior. I think they're just burying anyone who goes there, but that's a different story. I don't know. What do you think, Mike?
I would have loved it, to be honest.
Yeah,
that actually makes me like Adam Gase a little bit more now, because at least he tried to upgrade Tannehill. He wasn't the Tannehill, is the end-all, be-all guy that everybody thought he was. But apparently they offered. It didn't get to the point where they were going to make a serious offer, but at the minimum, they were going to give up a first-round pick. But Patricia didn't want to bite, so here we are now, and hoping draft day we get a quarterback.
The Jets are publicly shopping the third pick too. I read that, but you just said it, and it's a perfect transition. Hopefully, we get a quarterback. Well, the Miami Dolphins, it has been reported, are looking at drafting a quarterback in 2019 and the 2020 drafts, and maybe even both. What do you think about that?
I'm okay with it. Keep drafting until you get one. Why not? You see all these draft picks. Scratch your head some more, Boomer. We need a quarterback, darn it.
I'm in.
Just keep drafting until we find one. You know, we can't all be lucky and get a Derek Carr.
David.
It's true. Derek. You guys are nuts if you're going to draft 1-2 years in a row. I mean, unless you're drafting somebody like the third round. But if you're drafting somebody in the first round,
no. I would. All right, what about this?
2 rookies.
Tell me if you would be okay with this scenario. Haskins this year, Tua next year.
No. It's a waste of picks. You're missing out on great talent.
I'm in.
You guys are nuts. This is why you don't get to run a franchise ever in your life. Doing stupid mistakes like this.
That's why I don't get to run a franchise? That's the only thing stopping me from running a franchise?
Yeah.
Oh, well then, I changed my mind in that case.
Good. It's about time.
I think it's just that the Dolphins blowing a bit of smoke for the draft strategy. You know, to get teams to think you're going to draft a guy and they don't draft him. And then they look at 7 quarterbacks when they draft the one that they didn't visit.
It probably is, but I wouldn't be opposed to drafting a quarterback back-to-back years because you don't know what you're going to get with them. And I have said that I personally don't think that Kyler Murray or Tua are going to be the great quarterbacks that everyone thinks that they're going to be in the NFL. And if we're going to take one of them, I would endorse even more drafting a quarterback back-to-back years because I don't think those two are going to pan out. You can laugh all you want.
The first round. Cool. Yeah.
You guys are dumb.
You can laugh all you want.
Such a waste.
I hope they do it, and I hope they wind up with 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks.
You know what you should hope for? You should hope that their scouting program is good enough to get a good quarterback in the second, third rounds that maybe can be viable while they next year getting the first round. Don't waste 2 first-round picks. I mean, obviously your team, scouting directors, whatever you got going on, GM is awful. They don't know what they're doing.
Chris Greer did not have power until this year.
You got rid of a great coach, and now he's going to go to the Jets and do good.
A great coach,
No.
You'll see. You'll see.
Chris Greer, the general manager, did not have real power until now. So now his clock starts ticking.
Listen, if
Tannenbaum was running this team.
To Ronnie's favor, you spent 2 draft picks, 2 first-round draft picks back-to-back years, an average of a top 10 pick for both of them. And you hit your franchise guy, and you have your franchise guy for 12, 15 years. Anybody would trade 2 first-round draft picks to get their franchise guy. And in essence, you're just trading one because one of them is him. So,
and the other one is still a first round draft pick quarterback.
Or he can turn into Josh Rosen.
Whatever, you're still getting a third and a fourth. You're still getting a middle round draft pick for him, and you found your guy. It's a great idea. You know what?
Terrible idea.
And Boomer, what you don't realize too is that this team was being run by Mike Tannenbaum for the past few years, not by the general manager. The general manager was not putting this team together. Chris Greer.
Your general manager doesn't have any balls and must not know what he's doing.
That's just not the way the franchise is structured. Stop it.
Mike Tannenbaum is trash. He ruined the Jets.
You guys ever seen?
He ruined the Dolphins.
You ever seen what is it called? Major League?
Yeah. The second one. Major League 2, yeah.
Oh,
well,
man.
Let's move on since we're talking about the draft. And this is where I
got a
can't.
mock draft going, by the way. I'm going to send it over to you one of these days.
All right. This is where
But I do have that the Jets should trade out of that pick. That's my go-to thing.
The Cardinals are blowing a lot of smoke up Kyler Murray's ass. What do we think about that?
They're taking. There's nothing about it. I mean, when you don't quiet any of the rumors and you have a quarterback in Josh Rosen and you're just killing his ego and anything he's got built up, like you can't even go with him the year. If you don't take Kyler Murray now, they really have fucked up. They're just stupid. And
Cliff Kingsbury's latest comments are that he's like he's never seen a talent like him before or something like that, or that like he's a generational talent. Yeah, I think it's happening.
I have no doubt that Kyler Murray's pretty good. He was really good in college. I don't think, first of all, he deserved to win the Heisman. I think Tua was way better. But on top of that, I said from the beginning, anybody who hires Cliff Kingsbury, it's a terrible idea, and it's going to happen. Cardinals, I don't think it's going to work out.
once again, it could all be draft strategy, and he's talking him up like he's the greatest thing since sliced bread, and he wants some team to say, hey, I'm going to give you the whole Ricky Williams package, and I want this guy, and then they trade back and they draft Haskins or whoever, and they have a zillion draft picks for the next 5 years.
So, I don't remember if it was with you guys, but I was talking to somebody, and I had said, and this has nothing to do with anything we're talking about, sidebar. Yeah. I was talking to somebody, and I said if there was anybody living or dead that I would want to have a podcast, it would be George Carlin. Was that you guys?
No.
I've heard you say that before.
Okay. Well, anyway, so you just said it like he's the greatest thing since sliced bread, and I'll never forget a George Carlin thing when he's talking about like phrases that we say in the English language, and he says the greatest thing since sliced bread. Really, folks? Is that how far we've come? And it just always reminds me of that whenever I hear somebody say that.
You ever had to cut your own bread? I'm sure it sucks.
Yeah. But yeah,
one giant slice, one really big one.
Yeah, but that always reminds me of that. So anyway, moving on away from the NFL now, let's go into the most popular topic right now in the sports world, and everybody in bars, living rooms, water coolers, and other places where people talk about sports on podcasts, for example. Everyone's going nuts for the March Madness. We're in the Sweet 16. Duke almost blew up everybody's bracket with a close game to UCF that just rolled off the rim away from them. That was wild. Boomer.
Yeah, my dad actually called it in the casino the night before. He said, right after Duke won their first game, he said, I'm telling you right now, if UCF doesn't give them a tough game, they beat them outright. And he was about right. And so it was pretty crazy. People are complaining about the in calls. I think all game, actually, surprisingly for me, I'm going to say, I think Duke got screwed a lot. I think there's a lot of more fouls by Taco Fall that got Taco.
I think they let it go both ways. They let it go a lot both ways.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I hate the people that are saying, like, oh, Duke gets the calls at the end. That's like, it was pretty good the whole game of them letting shit go.
They let them play physical. It was good. It was a good game. It was a great game.
Yeah,
I liked it.
Drunken mess all weekend. We have hosted the games here. It was a good time. Just a disaster. But, the tournament, though, awesome.
Me, on the other hand, not so much. The tournament was great.
Yeah. Mike, what'd you think?
I thought the game was a great game. That ending was something else. I mean, for that ball not to go in, he had a nice look at it with the layup. But
I know.
Duke advances, and maybe this wakes them up, and they finish strong.
See, that's what I'm thinking. I was talking to Zach about this, and that's what I said. He said, because he's been saying all along, that he thinks Duke could lose, and that he doesn't think Duke might not even make it to the Final Four. But I think that this is like, those, and I hate to even go there, but those great teams that get woken up, like the New England Patriots, and when you wake the sleeping giant and they get a close call or some adversity against them, and then they just don't look back. And this Duke team is strong enough to do that. You don't have to watch college basketball all year to know that. And that's where I think we are. I think that anybody who gets in their way for the next couple of games at least is going to get ran over. Not ran over in score-wise, like differential of score, but Duke is coming to play, and no game will come down to a tenth of a second like that again.
How tall is that kid from UCF?
7'6".
7'6".
Wow.
Taco Fall.
Wild, man.
Just started playing basketball, I think, a few years ago.
Did you see the picture of him with the reporter?
Yeah.
Before the game?
Yeah.
Holy, she's literally up to his waist.
It's a good spot.
Boomer! Boomer!
Oh, yeah.
So, Oregon is ready to bust up everybody's bracket. The only, I don't know, what would you call them, bottom seed I guess. The only bottom seed left, 12, going against Virginia. I might have them beating Virginia. I'm not sure. I don't remember. I definitely have them in this game. So my personal bracket, I have, and I'm not talking about the one on either of the We the Fans brackets. I'm talking about the only one that I have money invested in, the one that Zach hosts. I actually have 14 out of 16 Sweet 16 teams, and every matchup is correct except one. I lost both of those teams. I had Louisville and Maryland. But yeah,
wow.
Doing pretty good.
Congrats. You got to be doing pretty good in that one, yeah.
Doing pretty good. And in our We the Fans bracket, the one for the $50 prize, my friend Dave was actually in first place up until the end of the Sunday night games. I think he lost one game, the last game, or the last two games Sunday. I don't remember. But he went from first to fourth. Actually, I have it over here in front of me. But Boomer,
I took a little drop.
Yeah, but Mike, you were up there too. Actually, you were, I think, fourth all weekend. Just about.
Second. I hit second at one point.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now. I actually was. I'm somewhere. I'm 50 plus right now. Alex C. Poole is in first. My friend Justin is actually tied for second. They got him down at fourth. My friend Dave, who was in first, is tied with him. Mike, my cousin John is in ninth. Mike, I don't even see you here, bud.
22, pal.
Oh, yep, 22. I see you. 22. Boomer. Neither of us are on the list. I don't think.
Oh, Boomer, where are you? I was curious.
Boomer, I haven't seen you up there in a while.
I was never at the top.
I know. I made it to 15.
Bracket, so the one that you're in, that I'm in with you with Zach, I have 13 of the Sweet 16s, but I don't have a Elite 8 eliminated yet. You do.
Yeah, I have Louisville eliminated. You're right. Actually, in that bracket,
I don't have one of those yet.
I didn't ask Zach, but I know that I am in fourth place in that bracket. My father is ahead of me. I don't know where. And if you have 13 and I have 14, you're probably right behind me. I'd say anywhere from 5th to like 8th probably. So we're in good shape in his bracket too. But we both have Duke, right?
I did 3 for money. One is awful, and then that one I'm doing pretty good, and the other one I'm doing so-so.
We both have Duke in Zach's, right?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, so do I.
I have... Shit, I don't know where my sheet's at. I think I have Duke versus Kentucky.
Oh, I got Duke, North Carolina. Yeah, but it's going to be close.
That's what I have in the We the Fans.
Do you? That's what I have in that one too, and I have Duke winning in that one also. I have Duke winning every bracket that I filled out, except the one, and Mike, you weren't here, and I screwed up the video for it, but from last week, we have North Carolina winning. So, Mike, I don't know if you heard the show, but we had Zach's friend Nick on the show, who works for St. John's and all this stuff, and his uncle was actually there, and there were 2 picks that we couldn't decide. I think it was the UNC Final Four game to get into the championship. We made him pick. He picked North Carolina. We wound up with North Carolina Duke in the finals, and we made him pick because between the 4 of us, we couldn't decide, and he took North Carolina. So the We the Fans podcast bracket has North Carolina to win. What's that?
I don't think we're doing very good, Matt.
We're in 3rd place, pal. What do you mean? We're doing awesome.
I don't know.
We're doing awesome in that one. So, who's in first place? I don't really know the name of the podcast. It could be On Set. I'm not really sure. It just says Fitz, a.k.a. On Set. Maybe that's the name of the podcast. Either that, or the person didn't listen to my request and didn't put the name of his podcast as the name of his team. So you screw yourself with that one. But in 2nd place, and at the end of every round, I mean, the point of this is to have your podcast there so I can say it on our show. If you're not going to do it, you're not hurting me. But for anyone that does want to see the podcast that are involved or are looking for podcasts to listen to, and there's honestly, it's not just sports podcasts here. There's a good mix of things here. There's a nerd podcast. There's even a Christian podcast on here that joined our bracket. But I'm going to do this.
Farmers Only podcast.
I'm going to do this on every show. I'll just run off the names. I'll run off the names. I'll give everybody a quick shout out, and you can also catch them all on our Instagram stories. I tag everybody in it. But first place, like I said, Fitz, a.k.a. On Set. They have Duke winning the whole thing. Actually, some guys that we talk to every now and then, getting to be kind of friends of the show. The Never Heard of Them pod in second place. They also have Duke. We are in third, the We the Fans Network podcast, with North Carolina winning in fourth. Actually, these guys were in first place at the end of the first round. At the end of Friday night, Culture Shock dropped down to fourth. They have Tennessee winning the whole thing. And that's it. Well, we're gonna stop there because I'm not gonna name every team. So you can check it out on the Instagram. But Mike Drop Sports also totally uncalled for. Living Christ-like, the Fantasy Fuel podcast, Verbal Shenanigans, Couch Coach Live. It's debatable. And some people who didn't fill out brackets, but they joined, I'll give them a shout-out anyway. Infinity Nerds, Sack 'em Up Sundays, the Misadventurous podcast, that's Miss, M-I-S-S, and the @FMB podcast on Instagram. So, yeah, that's where we're at. But we're in good shape there. We're in third place. So, there's your plug for everybody. Let's move on from the March Madness stuff. Boomer, you're probably going to sit this one out for the next few minutes. We may get cut off any second and have to reconnect.
All the listeners are also going to shout up their ears out for tonight.
Well, for anyone that does that, I'll give you a quick preview. So we're going to end the show with, you guys picked what we talked about, yes?
I just did home run and pitcher with the most.
Boomer can never follow the rules. Mike?
Yeah, I started with RBIs.
Come on.
I was just throwing stuff out there. That wasn't like set in
Yeah, but
stone.
then I narrowed it down to 4.
I thought it was just 3.
You didn't read my text?
God, you guys are making this too
Oh,
much.
man.
What did I do, Boomer?
No, I narrowed it down to 4. It's all right. Mike, what did you do?
You wanted to put...
Mike, what
Thank
category?
God.
Mike, what category did you do?
I have them all in my head. I didn't even write anything down, so...
Well, excuse me,
Whatever you
baseball
wanna talk about.
genius.
I just had a fantasy draft last night. That's all fresh.
Oh, who'd you take? Number 2 pick.
Oh my
All right.
God, come on.
Just a quick synopsis. So it's a contract keeper league. So you can keep up to 4 players. So you have 4 contracts. I had 2 guys still on contract: Steven Strasburg with 1 more year left, and Mike Trout with 2 more years. So I started off with those 2 guys. I kept Acuna for 1 year, and I kept Justin Verlander for 1 year. So I started the draft with 4 players. Everybody did. My first pick was JD Martinez.
What happened to DeGrom? He went first?
He took Scherzer, and that was it. I said, why not? It's 40 home runs.
So who got
I have the
DeGrom?
best
Right
outfield.
after you?
The number 1 Mets homer in my league. So he's dead happy. And then my Braves friend took Freddie Freeman right after him.
All right. Now let's get into the actual baseball talk and
You just
not
want
your
to
fantasy team.
start it up?
Listen to this outfield then. Let it run out. Acuna, Trout, JD Martinez, George Springer, and Jimenez from the White Sox.
Keep going. What's the rest of your team?
That's just my outfield. Molina, catcher. D. Gordon, second base. Aguilar, first base. Josh Donaldson for third, of course, Braves. Simmons at shortstop.
I hope you have a backup for Donaldson. I had him last year in fantasy, Mike. He was hurt a lot.
Subaru Cabrera. He's got the 3 position eligibility.
Okay.
Short, second, and third.
Yeah.
Pitchers, Strasburg, Verlander, David Price, your boy Paxton. Brain fart. I picked up 4 closers, though. So Craig Kimbrell doesn't have a team yet, and then 3 other guys. So I'm balanced. I like it. We'll see.
Well, speaking of pitchers who don't have a team yet, it's actually kind of wild, some of the names that are still free agents. I know everybody was talking about outfielders that were still free agents and stuff like that, but I mean, James Shields, Dallas Keuchel, Brandon McCarthy, Like, these are decent names that are still pitchers, you know? I mean, Shields is old, but I'm kind of surprised he's not on a roster.
Dallas Keuchel doesn't have a team yet?
Dallas Keuchel's not on a team yet.
Probably wants over $100 million.
But everybody expected the Yankees to go after him. I don't know.
These guys are just going to have to take 1-year deals at whatever
Well, I'm
the
glad
going
that
rate
wasn't
is.
my biggest pitcher because I thought about taking Dallas Keuchel.
I mean, he'll get signed, but you got to now remember he's missing all of spring, so it's not going to be till May, end of May before he's actually like ready to go.
Well, he's just a pitcher. He's been throwing.
Not the same. There's in shape, and then there's in baseball shape.
Fucking baseball.
The Yankees are going into the regular season with a bunch of injuries. Aaron Hicks is hurt. I mean, Severino's hurt. It's not a good way to start the season. But anyway, Yankees have a bunch of injuries. The good news is that it's not really letting them slow down. The bats are swinging in the spring, and hopefully it carries over into the regular season. Aaron Judge has been an absolute monster this season. This off season. He's been great. They just need to hold off on the injuries and for a little while. Got to get guys back. Can't really afford to lose much more, especially in that pitching rotation. And I think, Mike, and let me know what you think about this. This is where Dallas Keuchel kind of comes in. Is they're starting their rotation already hurt. They are going with young guys who showed that maybe they could stick around a little bit last season, but we don't really know if they're going to be around for a while or if they're good enough to be. I think somebody like Dallas Keuchel is very realistic to be signed by the end of May.
I think he'll be signed before that, actually. I see Cashman making a trade for a pitcher rather than signing a free agent guy. Not to say that he won't, get a middle of the road guy to kind of be a stopgap till some of those other people get healthy. The Yankees will be fine, Ronnie. Listen.
I know that. Trust me, I know that.
I'm sorry. You're only going to win 94 games this year instead of 101. Like, I feel so sorry for you. And Yankee fans. Psych.
Thank you. No, I was going to say I appreciate it.
No, they're not. Psych.
Jacob deGrom got paid, something we talked about a while ago. And I said he should get paid. He deserved to get paid. Guy was the best pitcher in baseball last year. Easily. Well, maybe not easily, but he was the best pitcher in baseball last year. 5 years, and what did he get? 120 something?
30, I think, something like that.
$137 million for 5 years. Good for you. I mean, realistically,
I said it. I said it like 3-4 shows ago. This is the wave that they're going to start signing these guys. Goldschmidt did it. He did it. Arenado did it before the season started. It's the new wave. It's what's going to happen. It's the uncertainty of the market, and like we said before, all those guys still sitting out there without a job that are probably better than 30% of the guys that are actually on the rosters of these MLB teams.
Yeah, and now let's get into our. I don't even know how to say it because Boomer kind of we went off. We all went into different directions with it, but so we discussed before the show. I know we're gonna have at least one thing in common. We're gonna make predictions for this upcoming baseball season, and I personally have picked who I think will lead in home runs and RBIs, and for pitchers who I think will have the most wins and the lowest ERA. And this isn't in the AL or NL. It's for the straight, full MLB, everybody involved. Boomer, give me your home run leader.
So, I have a question before I pick it. No, for real, because I don't know. Because I already know who I really like, but I want to know where this person plays, and I didn't look it up. Where does Nolan Arenado play?
Third base, and in Colorado.
Like, what stadium?
Colorado.
Colorado? I'm taking him then over Bryce Harper. I was going to take Bryce Harper, but now I'm taking him. I thought he played in Colorado, wasn't sure. Colorado's home run hit the park. I'm going with Coronado.
Boomer. Mike, sorry.
Oh, I mean, now that you said overall, through a little loophole, I was going to go National League guy, but I think this year it is Aaron Judge.
Boom! I like it, because that's my pick, too.
It could be Stanton, too. I wouldn't be surprised if you have a little Maris.
Aaron Judge switched his swing up. He switched his swing up. He looks good, real fluid. I like it a lot.
Listen, they're playing in a Little League
Short
field,
porch.
Ronnie.
Short
You
porch.
I can hit a home run there. Come on.
Short porch. Short porch. Short porch.
Plus 750, plus 850, Stanton and Judge. But odds,
1,600.
That's who Mike goes with.
1,600.
Coronado, Bryce Harper's plus 1,500. Go.
1,600.
I'll tell you the odds.
750 and 850 is 1,600.
No, that's each person.
What was your question to me, Boomer?
I said you took the favorites.
Yeah, but that's who I think is going to...
It's real, I mean...
That's who you went to?
Yeah.
When you say... Listen, if you want like a sleeper type of guy, I would say...
no, it's all right. You guys are rock chalk. I get it.
No, it's not a matter... like, that's who I see hitting 50-plus home runs, both of them, Stanton and Judge.
Wow, you think they combined for over 100 this year?
I think they combined for over 100. Absolutely.
That's crazy. That's nuts.
Crazy.
All right,
Nuts.
I hope that happens.
I know who I want for RBIs. I'm ready.
Go for it.
I didn't research it, but I'm gonna go with Javi Baez.
Okay, actually, you know what? That's a good pick. Javi Baez finished third in RBIs last year with 111. JD Martinez was first with 130. Mike, what's your pick?
I mean, I'm not going to pick JD because Boomer's going to get mad at me. Because it's chalk.
I don't know the odds on that because I didn't look it up.
So I'm going to say Freddie Freeman.
Freddie Freeman. Okay.
That, and in the three hole, you have Acuna and Donaldson ahead of you. I'll take it.
My pick might be somewhat surprising to you guys and for anyone who has followed me on Twitter or followed the show or knows me personally as a Yankee fan. I think Manny Machado is going to lead the league in RBIs. But there's a reason for it, and it's because Milwaukee has a really good lineup, and I was actually looking into it a little bit myself. Christian Yelich.
San Diego, bud.
What did I say, Milwaukee?
Yeah,
I was going to say, that's Yelich.
You got Yelich, you got
Why did I...
Aguilar.
Oh, man.
Okay,
you mean Yelich?
No.
Or did you mean Machado?
And he's looking at San Diego's lineup like, he's going to get about 88.
No. I wasn't looking at the lineup. I was looking at the RBI, just like the RBI list from last year. And I did it 2 minutes before the show, and I completely botched the whole thing.
So just switch Yelich for Machado and then say exactly what you were going to say. And
well, no, because in that case, then I would go Aguilar if I was going to go with somebody from Milwaukee, honestly.
I drafted him, baby.
Because I honestly think that lineup is going to produce a lot of RBIs, and I don't know why in my head I put Manny Machado in Milwaukee, but I did, and I was thinking him in that lineup was going to be pretty good after looking at where Yelich and Aguilar were. So that's complete on me, but that's why this is We the Fans and not We the Experts or We the Analysts or anything like that. So. Whatever.
JD Martinez is the favorite. I just looked it up.
I know. Of course he is.
Yeah.
With that lineup in Boston,
I was actually thinking about saying and I crossed him off. My original pick was Mookie Betts, to be honest.
For RBI.
Yeah.
Don't forget about Goldschmidt and St. Louis. That's a pretty potent lineup, and to add him is pretty good.
There's going to be, I think the top 10 of this standings for this stat from last year is going to be very different at the end of this year. That's what I think too.
Yeah, Ronald Acuna is going to be within the top 10 in 3 of those categories.
Let's go to starting pitching, and I picked who I thought was going to have the most wins and the lowest ERA. What did you guys do?
Go with most wins first.
Most wins? All right, so most wins. I actually have Corey Kluber. I could see him have another 20-win season.
It's a chalk thing to judge a pitcher on wins. It's so not be relevant to how good or bad a pitcher is. But for argument's sake, you pick a guy
exactly
that has high strikeouts. What's that?
That's not exactly true.
Yes, it absolutely is. If I told you a last name Yarborough, okay, how many wins do you think Yarborough
Okay,
has?
fine. But that's
I'm asking you a serious
Mike,
question.
No. But I know why you're asking me that question, and that's only because the Tampa Bay Rays did something completely crazy last season. I know who Yarborough is. Okay, nice try.
Overrated. Who?
I said I know who Yarborough is. Nice try.
My point is he had 16 wins last year. He was a nobody. People don't even know what team he plays for. And then you have a guy like DeGrom, who, how many did he win?
Like
6, yeah.
Gamble.
Oh, wow. What do we wins? Chris Sale.
What is this, Wager Vision?
Yeah.
Chris Sale.
Beep. So
Chris Sale,
that's not bad. He's not odds-on favorite like old Kluber over there. I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I actually like Madison Bumgarner at plus 3,000.
Mad Bum.
No, Boomer. You're lucky my man gets double-digit wins.
Nope.
This year.
You watch.
He's not the same pitcher anymore.
See, what you don't realize about betting is chalk does not come in. All you're doing is you're like, oh, this guy's on the best team. He's gonna.
But I'm not saying it to bet. I'm not putting in a bet.
We're not talking about betting. We're just saying.
I'm saying who I think is gonna lead in
Yeah,
this.
and all you guys are doing is taking the top guys all the time. That never works. Most of them will
Sure
get
it does.
injured or something. Yeah, what? Bumgarner.
Dude, it's not. No, wait. I took Corey Kluber. Corey Kluber won 20 games last year. Do you know how hard it is to have 20 back?
They odds on favorite too.
Do you know? Yeah, but do you know how hard that is to have back-to-back 20-win seasons? I don't care what the odds say. That's crazy. That's really, really good. Like, that's great to do.
All right, Chalk Talk.
Yeah, well, you're gonna love this one. I picked Jacob deGrom to have the lowest ERA in the major leagues this year. How about that?
I'm taking Noah Syndergaard.
That's a joke.
You already know who he is or he plays for.
Oh my goodness, you guys are freaking hilarious.
There's a clip for Instagram.
I love it. I love it.
They play for the same team, but Syndergaard sucks.
Who does? Oh, for the Mets?
Yeah.
Syndergaard, they call it Thor. He looks like Thor. He's got like the long
Oh yeah, he's
blonde hair.
definitely getting low as ERA.
Some people also call him terrible.
Oh.
Mike.
Let's make it fun. I say Zach Wheeler. So we're going to go with 3 pitchers from the Mets.
I didn't know Syndergaard played for the Mets, but I'll take it.
And Zach Wheeler at one time, I mean, all 3 of them were potential ace pitchers at one point.
Yeah, they got Wheeler from San Francisco for, I forget what trade that was, but he was highly regarded.
You guys ready for the decathlon? Because you guys are picking baseball since you know it alls.
We're ready.
We'll
When does that start again? At the end of the tournament, right? After the tournament?
Yeah, it's like 2 weeks away.
All right.
Right off the bat, we're going to have to pick baseball, golf, and hockey.
Boom. So Mike's got the baseball, you got the golf. I'm pointing the wrong way. Mike's got the baseball, you got the golf, and I'll take the hockey.
Oh, we're all gonna debate each other.
No, since we like to do specials so much, we'll do a special show. We'll do a real special one for it. That's all. It'll be real special, just like me. And with that, I think that's the end. I think we've reached our conclusion here, unless anybody else has something to add.
No, can't wait for my boom microphone set to come in for my cell phone for next week's podcast.
Boomer?
I got nothing.
All right. All right, as always, follow us on Instagram and Facebook at We The Fans Network. I got something in my eye. At We The Fans Network on Instagram and Facebook. If you're listening to the video, watching the video, listen to the audio. Listening to the audio, watch the video. Leave comments, share it, subscribe, do all the stuff we need you to do. Click all the buttons. And yeah, we appreciate all that. Follow me on Twitter at WeTheFans_Ron. And this guy over here in the corner up there, that's Boomer. That's you.
Oh, okay. because it's not that way for me. On Twitter, @LiveWithBoomer or @2CB, baby. 3-time Beer League champ, you'll see it.
Humble brag. Hashtag humble brag. Mike, right next to me.
Whoop, there it is on Twitter. I can't compete with that, Boom, but I'll try. Whoop, there it is on Twitter, and Boom went to Dynamite on Instagram. I just want to say one quick thing. Opening day, Thursday, go Braves. Starting off against the Phillies. We're going to show them who's the boss of the NL East. And kudos to the Atlanta Braves for having 2 rookie pitchers in the starting 5 to start the year. I think it's going to be 3, actually. So watch out for the young talent.
That would be pretty crazy.
Also, hey, question real quick. You can cut this off.
Well, can we end the show first? Wait, time out. Hold on.
We all just did it.
Can we end the show first? Jesus. Anyway, all the social media that we just talked about, we're going to go have a private conversation now, but all the social media that we just talked about is right there above me. And check out the show next week. I don't know, we'll have some kind of special or something coming. See you later. See you next week. Let's go Yankees. Start spreading the news. It's baseball season. See you next week. All right,
He is spreading because nobody's paying attention.
All right, Boomer, what do you want?